Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Orleans Zoning Board of Approval. My name is Gerald Mulligan. I'll be chairing tonight. And with me are board members from my far right, Isabella Santagrul, Austin Higgins, David Little, and Robert Wilkinson. We have two items of business for our consideration. First, under old business, we have minutes of April 1st. Are there any questions? You should have all received those. Are there
No
any
comments.
questions or comments?
No.
Do I have a motion to accept the minutes?
So moved.
Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
You don't have to take a roll because we're not virtual, we're all here. So that's great. All right, we have one item for new business, which is a continuation from March 4th and April 1st. Case number 2026-04, John H. Faring IV has applied for a special permit as set forth in Mass General Laws, Chapter 40A, Section 9, under the Orleans zoning bylaw, Section 16444, building coverage to exceed 4,000 square feet. The property is located at 199 Namaquoit Road, map number 70, parcel 49. Mr. Dewar, please.
Sure. For the record, again, my name is Robert DeVore here with Bracken Engineering on behalf of the Faring family here at 199 Namaquoit Road. Just a quick recap of this project. We are proposing here a proposed raise and rebuild of, navigate this screen here. Proposing to raise the existing dwelling and partially the driveway here, maintaining, the main entrance driveway and the general access portion. We're proposing to reconstruct a new dwelling here with all the appurtenances, including a new septic system and a new driveway. Pulling it further back from the resource areas. We're also providing some mitigation here, restoration plantings provided by Wilkinson Design. Since our last meeting, we noted concerns regarding the size of the proposed dwelling. Previously, we were requesting a overall building coverage on the parcel of I had that in front of me. 6,000, a little over 6,000 square feet, excuse me. We've reduced that down to a total building coverage on this proposed plan to less than 5,000 square feet. We're at 4,995 square feet. We did that by removing the garage, and also the house itself shrank by almost exactly 900 square feet. You can see we pulled in this back. There was previously a covered porch back here that has been pulled back to remove the covered portion here and replace that with sort of patio area. And in the front here, particularly this front of the house pulled back quite a bit. And we now have sort of a drive-under garage here as we pull down. The remainder of the house over on this side stayed roughly the same, but we were able to lose about 900 square feet of this house. And actually, in the process, it pulls the structure 4 feet further back, a little over 4 feet further back from the top of the bank than what we had originally proposed. We still meet all of those setback requirements, and we are just now looking for a total building coverage of 8%, or 4,995 square feet. And that's about the biggest change that we made here in regards to the building. So with that, again, actually I would like to am joined tonight by Paul Rona of Elevate by Design, the landscape architect, but also Chad Mitchell, the architect of the building, and he is joining us on Zoom. So Chad, if you'd like to go through some of the design changes for the building, I can pull up the floor plans and have them shown on the screen if you need me to do that.
Is Mr. Mitchell with us?
Yep.
Can people hear me now?
Yes, yeah, we can, thank you.
Great. Oh, thank you. Good. Thanks for having me back and giving me the opportunity to give an update on the design of the home. I think Robert talked about the square footage of coverage. So we wanted to be very responsive to that on this go around. As Robert said, we reduced it from, I think, 6355 down to under 5, so about 1,360 square foot of building coverage reduction total. And again, just trying to be responsive to the comments that we got on the last 2 rounds of presentation. Robert, what plan is that you have up right here? Is it the basement?
That
or
is
it
the
upper?
basement, and then I can scroll down so we're showing the
Okay,
first
yeah,
floor here.
great. Okay, so that's the upper level plan. The portion on the west side, we did reduce the footprint on that a little bit on the upper level. Compressed the space between the living room and the bedroom, so that reduced some footprint there. On the east side, that's where we made kind of some more major reductions. We got rid of the rear covered porch, so there was a large outdoor covered roof area that was contributing to the coverage on that first scheme that we had last time. We compressed the interior spaces between the kind of den, kitchen, and living and dining, so that, you know, it's more efficient. There's less kind of interstitial circulation space in the plan. Reduced some of the front porch coverage that we had, and reduced some of the areas of the basement that were extending out beyond the footprint of this upper level. So really just compressed the overall footprint of this structure ground, and remove the garage, as John said. John, if you want to move to the basement, we can kind of show what we did there.
Sure.
So the part on the west, again, kind of more or less stayed the same. It reduced in size a little bit, but the portion on the right, we've incorporated a garage on the front. You know, since we removed the freestanding garage, we now have it kind of entering into the basement of this structure. And reconfigured some of the layout down there just to make it more efficient. There's not as much crawl space and basement space because we don't have that big covered back porch. But overall, the intent with the revisions was to address the board's concerns with the building coverage, but also try to maintain some of the spirit and intent of the design that we had last time. So we've maintained the one-story design, which is trying to be responsive to keep it low to the ground and not a tall structure as viewed from Pleasant Bay. Still has a gable roof design, so we thought that was important to make the design of the house feel like it's in context with other homes in Cape Cod, and still have the wood shingle siding cladding. So some of those design elements have stayed the same. So overall, we think that, you know, we've made a pretty good reduction, and obviously we're hoping that we can leave today with an approval of this. Thank you.
Thanks, Chad.
Anyone else to speak, Mr. Dewar?
No, I think at this point, open it up to any questions that the board may have.
All right, are there any questions from the board? Anyone with questions? Austin, any questions?
Only minor question on the first, the basement level floor. Just a clarification, so I'm not familiar with the marking. Is this just denoting underground? Or is
No,
this-
that's earth outside the foundation, so the
Okay.
limited foundation would be this wall.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
So on the first floor, those are 2 separate buildings, there's no way to access in?
You can access, yeah, you have to go down to the basement and then come back up. Yep.
Anyone else, questions? All right, now we should turn the meeting into the public input. Are there any members in the virtual audience looking to speak, either in favor or in opposition to the application?
Don't see any hands raised.
No hands raised, all right. Well, I think we decided last time we should vote to close the public session. So why don't we have a vote to close, I'd move we close the public session.
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Now, we haven't received any correspondence on this application, so there's nothing to report on the record for the correspondence. So what are people's thoughts? If you want, I'll go first.
I'll-
Go ahead, you want to go first, Dan?
No, I think they listened to the board members' concerns that were raised at the previous meeting and have made adjustments which I think are great. I have no concern about this project at all now.
I was able to spend more time, I went to the property and spent a lot of time there, I had an idea of it before. It's very obvious that there's gonna be a very low profile, you've got a nice profile from the water. And it's basically, you can't see the thing from the road.
Yeah.
So it's a very private lot. And again, I would echo what David has said about the reduction. I think it's a substantial reduction, and I think it has met my concerns, at least, on the size of the house.
I agree with both of you.
Any other questions or comments?
Nothing more than's already been said.
All right. Well, do we have a motion?
I move approval of the revised project as presented this evening.
I'll second that.
Bell will second, all right. Bell will make one, please.
And can we make the Conservation Commission's order of conditions part of our approval? Do we
Well,
normally
Dave,
do that or not?
We don't generally do that, as you know.
Okay.
Matt likes to do it. I don't know that we,
I guess it's not necessary.
yeah, because they kind of.
I just didn't know if that,
Yeah, Matt started that, and we don't generally do that, unless we're concerned about some specific thing over and above what the
Okay.
Conservation Commission has done.
okay.
That's my sort of sense of it. Well, let's have a vote. I'll take a roll call vote. Sibel,
Yes.
Austin,
Yes.
David,
Yes.
Bob,
Yes.
and I'm a yes.
Thank
So
you
it's
very much.
unanimous. You have your special permit. Did a great job.
Yep, good job.
Did a very good job.
Now you get to drive home in a rainstorm.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Very, very well. Good on, Mr. Mitchell, well done, very interesting design, I can't wait to see the house when it's done.
Thank you.
See it from my kayak.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Oh, well, you need to, give a motion to, is there anything else to come before the meeting?
So actually, I have a question.
Yeah.
This is in regards to, just a general question about our next meeting.
Yes,
Oftentimes, we're dealing with special permits, variances, and appeals to building commissioner decisions. Our next meeting is going to discuss 40B, and the language in that application is extremely different from what I've seen previously. It appears to be a list of special permits and variances ostensibly, but it's worded differently, and I can't find corresponding wording in our current zoning bylaws. And I'm trying to figure out where I should be looking for references on our duties, responsibilities, and requirements for these sorts of comprehensive permits.
they're the same,
Yeah.
they're the same, there's no special variance but they don't have to get our approval.
I guess the question is, there's a lot of things in there that I would consider variances to our,
Right,
and are they still bound by the three requirements for variances if they're not listed in the application as variances as part of the comprehensive permit?
I think they list them all, you're saying that they missed one, or? is
No,
that-
I'm saying they're not listed as variances, but they do not, they don't conform to
They
our
asked for
zoning.
relief.
They're asking for relief to, they don't have a pre-existing non-conformance for all these things, so therefore I would consider
Good
them
night
Again,
variances.
everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Do we have to consider them under the same lens we do variances, which is owing to the topography of the land and, you know, our other two?
I don't believe so.
I don't think so either. They don't need to come here, actually. It's sort of a courtesy to the town.
I attended the site plan review meeting, and one thing that came up there today was that they were asking relief from certain things like betterment costs and other things, and the guy that presented it said, I didn't even know we were asking for relief from that. So they're still, I think we might be getting a revised proposal, a revised plan before the 20th.
Jerry, wouldn't, because this is a friendly 40B, don't they need our approval? In other words, it's not automatic. is it?
I'm not sure. We've had two of them since I've been
I
on
think
the
you
board.
need to go to
My
the final.
recollection, and we had a,
Yeah, I think
we
it's just, I think it's dotting i's and crossing t's.
We had
I'm not
a-
worried about it, but.
we had a
just-
presentation by Mike Ford before we did these.
Okay.
And my recollection, which could be wrong, because it's increasingly wrong, is that they come as a sort of a courtesy to the town. We give our comments, and they should make a good faith effort to answer them.
That is clearly the case when the town's below 10%.
Mhm.
But now that we're above 10%, my guess is that they do need our approval.
Well, that's a good point. Then
Should
maybe
we reach out to George Meserve?
I'll reach out to council. I don't know,
Mr. Chair.
George. What's that?
Oh,
Oh, yeah, please, yeah. Davis.
I appreciate Austin's question. My understanding is that unlike a application to the ZBA for a special permit for relief for one or two aspects of a residential project, this is the inflated version of that in the form of a comprehensive permit. Because of Orleans' status in our housing stock for affordable units, the comprehensive permit for this project for the Governor Prince has to include request for waivers. So that's the word used as opposed to variances or special permits. So there is a list of waivers being requested from the ZBA. And I just want to make it clear that the Zoning Board of Appeals in this case has all the authority to sort of guide the project overall in terms of the waivers that are being asked for. Most of it is dimensional relief in order to fit, optimize the number of housing units on the site. But you guys are the comprehensive permit granting authority. You can look at the state law. There isn't any, Austin, to your question, there isn't anything in our local zoning bylaws beyond the descriptions with which you are familiar regarding the authority of the ZBA. The language is in the state laws. I think it's 760, CMR 760, 56, with regard to comprehensive permits specifically. It's not easy reading, but that's generally the situation, is that you are, the goal is for you to review the request of waivers in light of the various plans that are presented in the application. That is to say, the site and utility plan, the landscaping plan, the building layout, curb cuts for the driveways in and out of the site. So that's my understanding, sort of in a nutshell, of how to view the comprehensive permit application.
Yeah, okay, the issue is, what standards do we apply? That's, I think, Austin's question.
Yeah, like, I just want to, if it is something that we need to, it's effectively a variance, listed as a waiver, do we need to, for every one of them, clarify those three items? Is it kind of, can we consider the project at whole as a boilerplate for each of those, and then carry on one by one, just assuming they all have the same I just don't know if we're expecting the applicant to come to us specifically say, you know, here is why, this is owing to the topography of the land, which
I don't think so.
I don't, that, I'm gonna do a little bit of reading, I may reach out to Elizabeth to.
Yeah, I
get a
think,
couple-
I'll call Elizabeth tomorrow.
Yeah, she may have some experience with her previous.
Yeah, and she
town
may,
hall too.
and maybe George would know too, you know,
Yeah.
I shouldn't have been so quick to say,
Can you
Just in the
discuss
past.
again, why is it not a special permit, why is it a variance?
It's not a variance.
It's neither.
Well, it's neither, it's not a variance, but it falls more under variance than special permit,
A
right? As
comprehensive-
waivers, right. It's a
I think
comprehensive,
it's a comprehensive permit in which we get to review the entire project and grant the waivers if we want to, but I don't think that we have to base it on any of the usual variance requirements, because they're waivers under a comprehensive permit.
Just more generic approval of the
Yeah,
project.
it's an approval, but.
Well, I think help from the planning department or council
Oh, yeah.
is
I don't wanna mess
definitely in
it up.
order.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, absolutely,
yeah, for sure.
yeah.
I'll reach out to Elizabeth, see where we go, and send you all an email.
Great.
Thank you.
And
Great.
We'll schedule something, maybe
Did, while you're there, Davis, I didn't attend the first site plan review meeting. Is there anything in particular that we need to be cognizant of that you're aware of?
I didn't make that meeting either. I submitted questions and comments to George that he conveyed during that meeting. In reviewing the minutes and reviewing the meeting video, my answer is no. In my view, the project as presented so far is really quite well developed. They did respond with a couple of changes that we as a site plan review committee asked about, like providing an additional dumpster space on the site, consideration about access to the bike trail, which runs to the north of the site. Pretty mundane items. Difficult for me always in site plan review because I always want to get to the building code stuff, but that's really not why we're there. We're there to discuss the site plan. And again, the opinion of the committee is that the site plan as part of the project as a whole is really well done. I think, David, you would agree that that was the tenor of the committee today.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, so really the answer is no. There's really nothing sort of brewing or stuck in anybody's craw about the project. We're really at the point where we're trying to make the specifics work with regard to water service and fire department vehicle access and kind of the nuts and bolts of developing the site plan. So again, I think you guys understand, have a good handle on it. You have the authority to view the project as a whole, to look at details of the project, and then review the request for the waivers. Those are the specific details that you should pay attention to, obviously, because that's what influences the differences from another project that is has enough room, has enough area to not require any dimensional relief. The Habitat for Humanity houses on the site are on very small lots. They're like 3,600 square feet, I think, and up. And so it's kind of like that element of it is Riley Run, for example, when you cluster those homes together. But then they sit in that larger context of several different apartment buildings. So really, I understand your question, Austin. What's the legal or descriptive basis on which you make your decisions? But it really is just what's presented to you. You've got to use your experience to decide if it seems appropriate.
Thank you, Davis. Appreciate it.
Is that
Just a
lot,
reminder, you have the time to continue. It's a big project, so you may want to choose to stretch it across 2 meetings.
is that lot in the village district?
I'm sorry?
Is that lot in the village district?
Yes. Village Center.
so then does that mean that what the town voted on the last time related to like heights and everything, we have to take all that into consideration for this?
I think that's
No?
an effective.
No,
It's outside of that area.
the 40B is
Yeah,
is different.
I'll look at the statute.
They
too,
have
and see
pipe
what it says.
waivers, a lot of them. It's 42 feet, I think, up around there, and some of them might be even a little higher than that, but it's because there's 3-story.
Yeah, so it's really, the criteria is Massachusetts zoning act. You kind of have to fall out onto that as compared to the details in our local bylaws.
Yeah, well, it's chapter 40B as opposed to chapter 48.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Davis.
Davis.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm available anytime if anybody wants to talk about it.
All right, I move to adjourn the meeting.
Yes, I think we should vote.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all.